Okay, I love you.
I love you.
Oh, I guess that's going to be on the recording.
That's okay.
All right, let's let all these beautiful secret agents in.
Let's do it.
Beautiful, beautiful names. Beautiful people. Beautiful faces.
Hello, friends. Morning. Good morning.
Hi, beautiful people. We're going naked today, not actually.
A metaphoric willingness to be naked, a vulnerability.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, pal. Nice to see you, friend. So many friends. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. So glad you're here. Oh, look, Noreen even has her puppy. I mean, come on.
Hi.
Chaco.
I have a cat on the window kind of ignoring us, but not really.
Morning, everybody.
Oh, more puppies. There's Jackie with her puppy too. Oh, what a cuteness.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning. It's lovely if people want to join us and say hi. And then probably when we start, I'll just ask you all to mute yourselves. But right now, it's really nice to hear your voices.
Say hi. Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody.
Hi, my name's Amy.
Good morning.
Good
morning,
everybody.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
What a group. Wow.
Rosemary, we love you so much.
Thank you, sweet Jackie.
It's a beautiful day.
Hi,
Hi, Julie.
Great. I just got my box of tissues.
I know.
Me too.
I knew that was Uli's voice. Hi, Uli.
Yes. Hi.
Oh, so many beloveds. Thanks, everybody, for showing up.
All these.
And my mother. Hi, Mom.
Oh,
The secret agent. How fun is that?
Where's your mom? Where's your mom?
There
Gotta
she
look for
is.
Julie Wahtola. She's
There's
wearing
so
bright
many
red.
beautiful people.
So glad to see Julie here.
Hey, Mama. Hi, Mom.
Aw, that's so fun.
Hi, Patricia Flash. I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah. Carol.
Yes.
Carol, good to see you.
Good to see you, dear.
Yeah.
Everybody's eating breakfast.
Breakfast eating is definitely allowed.
Oh,
Hi, Rosemary. It's Roz.
Hi, Roz. Thanks so much for showing up.
Yes.
Rosemary, it's Allie.
Holding back
I
tears.
see you there, Allie. Hi, friend. Hi.
Hi,
Is that a kitty on your lap too?
That is my kitty Jackson. This is
Oh.
Jackie.
She?
Jackie, this is Rosemary. He just, yeah,
Oh.
look, here you are. He's very handsome.
Allie, your hair's looking cute this morning.
Oh my God, I just rolled out of bed.
I love it.
I mean, thank you. Thank you is what I meant to say. That just came out wrong.
yeah.
I'm too shy.
Oh gosh, it's so handsome, I'd say. Hello, Rosemary and Aida.
This is
Hi,
Wahtola.
Rosemary.
Hi there, Tony. Nice to see you, friend.
Nice to see you. We've held you close to our hearts the last couple of months. It's been hard.
Thank you.
Lots of love to you.
Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary. It's Berta.
Hi, Berta. Thank
You
you.
got yours.
Oh,
Good morning, Rosemary. You know I love you because I don't get up this early for just anyone.
morning, Christy.
Christy, I recognize your voice from the podcast.
Hi, Sherry.
I've never seen you, but it's lovely that you're here.
Hi, Christy. I recognize your background.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
Well, I
how
think,
many
should we
people
get
you know.
started?
I was just gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and mute. Or actually, can everyone just mute yourselves? That way you can unmute again later on if you want to share. But if everyone could mute, that would be wonderful. And then we'll get started.
Mute?
Down in the lower right or lower left, you should see a mute button. Let me see if I can mute everybody and then unmute Rosemerry. Rosemerry, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Can everyone hear Rosemerry okay?
Can you hear me? Great, super.
Okay, good, good.
Well, thank you everyone so much for showing up. Sherry and I are ecstatic to have you all here. Although we also said this morning how we also hated this mission. So it's with both great delight and sorrow that we welcome you here today. All right, Sherry, take over, sweetheart.
Listen, everybody, you know, we're just showing up as we are today, and that is an invitation to everybody here. It's like, we're so glad we're doing this, and we're so sad we're doing this, and it's, Rosemerry, just so much love coming your way. I think that's the first thing, is that as we're all here, you know, let's just send Rosemerry as much big energetic love as we can, and to ourselves too. And thank you all for being here. Rosemerry, I know we were going to sort of talk, I know we have a lot of new secret agents, and so we wanted to give a little bit of a background to why we do this and what it is. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start, Annie?
Well, how about you start and I'll jump in, because I think I always tell the story better than I do, Sherry.
Like an old married couple right now with this whole story of how. So just like many of you, I fell in love with Rosemerry through her poetry. I don't even remember how I first started seeing your poems, Rosemerry, but they were just touched me so deeply, and I just loved who you were. And I was doing it was like a month-long challenge to send money every day to people, and as a way of like bringing more abundance into the world. And I chose to send $5 to people who had touched my life. And obviously $5 isn't a lot of money, but I would include a little note saying, may this be a token, may you have more abundance, may, you know, thank you for what you've given me. And Rosemerry was one of the people on that list. And
okay, so I'm going to jump in. Just imagine that you suddenly out of the blue get $5 from a stranger who says, you know, I appreciate what you do so much. And I was so astonished that I wrote a poem about it, about how amazing it was to have a stranger send $5 out of the blue and feel all this love. And so then Sherry said,
well, okay, so when you wrote your poem, my glasses are all foggy. You posted the poem, and I noticed that people you called it, did you call it Secret Agent? I can't remember.
I called it Secret Agents of Change. That was the title of the poem.
So Rosemerry called it Secret Agents of Change. And I noticed in people's comments that a lot of people said, I want to be a secret agent. I want to be a secret agent. It was so touching and also quite inspiring that, yeah, even though I didn't even know you, I just knew we were supposed to create the Secret Agents of Change together and like invite people in to do secret acts of kindness, because Lord knows the world needs it.
That's exactly how except now I'm realizing it was only called Secret Agents, and you added the of change part, Sherry.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's how that went. So that was several years ago, and we've done, I don't know, 15, 20, 30, quite a few, less than 30, but more than 20 missions. And these missions always start in the same way that I'll read a poem, and then Sherry, the secret spy co-master, will give everyone their missions. Now, in the beginning, these were always surreptitious. Nobody ever knew, and you can still choose to do it that way so that you can carry out your mission completely secretly. Secret agents is in the name after all. But sometimes it's less secret than others, and that's really up to you how you choose to carry out your mission. And then we will also do a double secret agent mission that is always possible for you to, if you have the energy to do 2 kinds of missions. And then we always report back in our Facebook group. So we can talk a little bit more about how this works when we go into the mission part of the program. Just as a bit of background then about how this particular mission came to be. 2 months ago, my son Finn, who was almost 17, chose to take his life. And he was a remarkable boy who was exceptionally loving, and maybe even exceptionally loving, especially to people who were not always very lovable. He was somewhat of a misfit, and I think he had a huge appreciation for other people who didn't fit in well either. He would extend huge kindness and friendship, especially to these people. An example that comes to mind is a girl who particularly pushed his buttons. They were on a camping trip and she was really struggling, and he offered to carry her backpack for her up the hill. So which she just told me about recently. Since he's died, she told me that story. So I feel like we'll talk a little bit about how that mission, but just to give you a little bit of a background about who he was. The other part of Finn was that he was a total button pusher. He was a total provocateur. He knew, for instance, that I can't stand the sound of people chewing. Like, it actually drives me out of my mind to listen to people chew their food. So he would come up to me and, tap me on the shoulder and then go, just, to push that button, push the button, push the button. Or, like here in Colorado, we have legalized pot, and he was dead set against it, and he would push back on all his friends who were smoking pot. This was a big deal to him. He would ride them about, why are you doing this? Why are you making this choice? So he didn't care. It wasn't so much for him about being accepted. It was more about, for him, people acting with integrity. He really wanted people to show up as their best selves. That was the challenge he gave to himself, and the challenge that he expected from other people, that they would also challenge themselves to bring their best selves. So those 2 things are somewhat in keeping with, as you hear, what our mission is. These were things that I thought were maybe important for you to know about Finn and why we would choose the mission that we did today. Sherry, if you would,
Yes.
please go ahead and make it so I can share my screen. And I'll go ahead and share my screen and read the poem that we're going to use as a launching place today.
Thank you for telling us those stories about Finn, Rosemerry. It's just so beautiful.
If you are interested in reading more about him, there was the link on our Facebook page to his obituary, and also I think that it was in the invitation that you received to be here today. All
You
right.
should be all set to share.
Great. So here's our poem for today. And I'll just put it up on screen. More love, more love. And it begins with an epigraph from Rita Mae Brown. Sorrow is how we learn to love. If sorrow is how we learn to love, then let us learn. Already, enough sorrow has been sown for whole continents to erupt into astonishing tenderness. Let us learn. Let compassion grow rampant. like sunflowers along the highway. Let each act of kindness replant itself into acres and acres of widespread devotion. Let us choose love as if our lives depend on it. The sorrow is great. Let us learn to love greater. Riotous love, expansive love, love so rooted, so common. We almost forget the world could look any other way.
Rosemary, would you be willing to read it for us one more time?
Yeah.
So, so beautiful.
And I just
Share it, and can you share it with us in the chat so we can also have it?
Oh, don't you see it on your screen right now?
Oh, yes, but I cannot copy it.
Oh, I
I
see.
just
Yes.
wanna
And
keep
it will also be, we will post it in the Facebook group also. It'll be there with the prompt. But I will totally copy and put it in the chat also. And this, I often ask people the second time any poem is read, just the second time, go ahead and close your eyes and just listen to the poem and just let it meet you. More love, more love. Sorrow is how we learn to love. Rita Mae Brown. If sorrow is how we learn to love, then let us learn. Already, enough sorrow's been sown for whole continents to erupt into astonishing tenderness. Let us learn. Let compassion grow rampant, like sunflowers along the highway. Let each act of kindness replant itself into acres and acres of widespread devotion. Let us choose love as if our lives depend on it. The sorrow is great. Let us learn to love greater. Riotous love, expansive love, love so rooted, so common. We almost forget the world could look any other way.
Rosemary, thank you. I feel the need just to take a minute or so and just, if that's okay, and just have a moment of silence. And let's just sit here with Rosemary, with Finn, with beautiful words, with any of our own sorrows that we brought. And really with big love. I so appreciate that so many of you have shown up today, and I know you did show up with that big love, with more love, more love. And we have a very special secret agent mission today. And we're asking you to offer an act of love and kindness for someone who's sometimes difficult to love. And I love that story of Finn and the backpack and offering that kindness to someone that, maybe he didn't even really like. I mean, that was so beautiful. It was so beautiful, Rosemary. So we're going to have everybody close your eyes right now for just a few seconds and just let come to your mind someone in your life who is difficult to love. Just let someone come to mind. And then think about this person and see if anything drops in that you appreciate about this person. And you can open your eyes. Rosemary, you can unmute yourself. I just muted because I heard some background noise. But now I want you to imagine if there was something that dropped in for you about what you appreciate about this person, we invite you to write a letter or an email or a postcard, just to write to them and tell them what you appreciate about them. You could send this anonymously in the spirit of the secret agents. It could just go out anonymously, or you could, have it be from you. You could call or text and they would know it's from you. An act of kindness or love might also simply be doing something kind for that person, no explanation needed. So it may not have to be, a direct, like, here's something I really appreciate about you, but it could be an act of kindness to them. And if they're really hard to love, your act of kindness might be to hold them in your heart, today, to spend some time and just sit with that, welcome them into your heart. Rosemerry and I had a big conversation about this, that, our thoughts, our actions in that way, we're actively loving. So that can be a secret agent action, to hold someone in your heart and to pray for them, to think kindly of them. And then we typically do have a double secret agent mission. And usually for this one, we invite you to do something for yourself, which of course you're always welcome to do something kind for yourself. But in honor of Finn, that we wanted today's double secret agent mission to be that if there's a teen in your life, to reach out to that teen with kindness, to be extra kind to a teen that you might pass on the street, to just, remember how difficult it is for all of us, but especially for teens right now. It's difficult. So to offer that kindness. Rosemerry, did you want to add anything for?
Well, I want to add that I am just going to put that prompt into the chat bar so that you can read it again, both of the prompts. And I really do like that there's the invitation to either do something for someone who pushes your buttons, to actively do something for them, or to very quietly do something for them. If you do that, I think about this, the person who I'm thinking of, I would be very uncomfortable contacting them. However, I could write a poem for them. So, just allowing myself to bring them in a way that I feel is loving, even if I don't think they're willing to receive that love, I feel like I can still do something generative and creative with it. I also want to point out that often this is probably the most somber and rightly so of our missions, that typically the secret agent missions are very playful and silly, even goofy and fun. I think that invitation is still open if it's available to you. Although the nature of today's mission is more serious and just has a little more gravity to it. But it matters. It matters so much. It matters. I know how much Finn needed to know he was appreciated. Not accepted per se, but needed to know that other people were willing to stand in their own brilliance and share that. And say, this is who I am, and I accept you as you are, even when we have a difficult time with each other. So I really appreciate the spirit of this mission. I know how much it matters.
Yeah. And I love, Rosemerry, I love that you brought in, because it is true. Normally there's just this beautiful joy and levity. But I love that you brought that in, because actually you and I have talked a number of times since Finn's death about ways that he has sort of shown up with whimsy. And, I was telling Rosemerry, including, like, there was a graphic that I created with his beautiful, his handsome picture on it. And every time that it printed out or came out, it was posted somewhere, it had these funny, like, squiggly lines and like weird little parts to it, and I kept trying to fix it. And I told Rosemerry this morning, finally, I just said, you know what? I think Finn is playing with us. Like, I just think it's, and I don't know. So there's been things like that where it has been, and I know, Rosemerry, I've so appreciated like the times we've been able to just smile a little about those things.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be good to open it up just a little bit to anyone who's thinking about how you might carry forward with this mission. And by the way, I did put the missions in the chat bar if you want to take a peek at that. If you're, I know sometimes it's harder to hear them. And so if it helps to read them, anyone who's thinking about what this mission might look like, what's some ideas that are starting for you already. And we'd love to hear from you a little bit about what could you do? What could your secret agent mission look like? And what I've found is that often, and this is part of the reason I love this group so much, is that other people's ideas always inspire me to think about what else could I do? I never thought of that. And just all these new ideas about ways to spread kindness and love in the world. I love what happens with our kind of hive mind here.
And I just wanted to add, sorry, Rosemerry, just that people are muted right now, but you should be able to unmute yourselves. Let me ask. Allie, are you still here? We have so many people, I can't see you, but I was going to say, can you try and
I can see Augusta and Joyce have both unmuted themselves.
Oh, yeah, I'm unmute. I just unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yep, thank you.
Oh my God, my hair is crazy.
Thanks, Allie. Did you say Augusta?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can unmute. Easy.
Did you want to say something and join in?
Well, and just in thinking about it, one of the things that for me to reach out to someone that I'm thinking about that is to literally send loving kindness to them several times during the day and to hold that such that it doesn't grab me. So it's actually like double fold, is to send that out until it no longer feels like I'm having to jump over my own hurdles. And so I've got someone in mind right now that I could really use that to welcome their energy into my life. So I'm gonna do that.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for sharing what you do.
You're an awesome secret agent, Augusta.
You are.
There's a note from Lori in the chat box that says, I know a teen or young adult who's hard to love and has an eating disorder. Oops, I just lost it. I will write her a letter, and I've been wanting to for a while, but this will get me to do it and put my love in action. Thanks, Lori. That is so in the spirit of exactly what we're doing. That's a gorgeous mission.
So beautiful.
It looks like Aida, you're raising your hand.
Yes, actually, I was thinking that I was discovering the obstructionist in myself. So I thought I would send a loving kindness to one of the politicians that just triggers me beyond belief. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful.
It's embarrassing I won't say anything more, but that would help me to stop sending the hatred or the frustration or the anger, because I know that doesn't help me when it comes my way.
So beautiful. Thank you. Oh, and I see a couple other people have their hands raised. Thank you. If anybody else wants to raise your hands, thanks. That will make it a little bit easier. The reactions button down at the bottom, if you click on that, you can see the raised hand. So I see Stella.
Good morning. I'm sort of an infiltrator secret agent because I never got the link, but one of the women in my women's group sent it to me at 7 a.m. So I'm very grateful to Trish for doing that. Rosemerry, you know that our circle has been holding you. And when you read your poem this morning, an image came to me. Now, this is going to sound goofy, but you know, on the creative side, I am goofy. I'm looking out the window here at Lake Michigan and the sidewalk next to it, and there's a wall. And I'm very tempted to go buy big, huge sunflowers and pop them in the wall all along this place where there's a big lot and a house that burned down. My neighbors, my friends lost their home. But to bring a sign of life to that sidewalk that people pass by every single morning, and I will be able to watch their reactions. So that was one thing. The unexpected piece about sending positive or thinking positively about somebody who pushes my buttons. I got a text at 6 a.m. this morning asking me about what coffee to buy for someone. And it's a person who I'm trying to create distance from because she's been rather abusive. And I didn't want to respond. And I thought, oh, damn. So I did. And what I need to do is to go back and to send her another text and just tell her that her generosity towards what she was trying to do was remarkable, and not engage in a big fat way, but to send that loving kindness even through a text, because she's the kind of person that needs to see it and really does need to see who it's coming from. So those are the two things that I'm going to put on my list of many things of this day. But thank you all for letting me sneak in as an unidentified
You
secret.
probably get extra credit, actually. That's really surreptitious. Like, that's some good secret agent behavior.
And I'll take a picture once I find those sunflowers.
Oh, good, good. Please do and share it on our Facebook page. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know that I'm in your group because, like I said, I tried to sign up but didn't get a link. So it's okay.
Anytime. We'll leave the light on for you.
All right. Thank you.
Stella, you're very welcome. And if you can reach out, I'm going to put my email in the chat. I'll make sure that we get you into the group.
Okay, I tried. Why it didn't work, I don't know. But anyway, I hope everybody has an absolutely blessed day. I'm doing 2 things at once today, maybe 5, but it's all good. I wanted to be here and I wanted to show up.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. I see. Oh, go ahead, Rosemary. Do you want to? Can you see?
I was just going to say Valerie, and then Geraldine, and then Julie. Just kind of so you know who's coming up.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for this and your grace and beauty. And hello, Mom. So I had a cousin call me out of the blue on Sunday, and it's been years since we have spoken. And I found her really difficult in the past, and we just talked for an hour about family, and then at the end she asked me if I would friend her on Facebook, and I think maybe I had blocked her like years ago when it was really making me feel bad. And so I'm gonna see if I can do that, friend her on Facebook. I don't have to follow her, so I don't have to see her post, but then through that way I can send her a letter of appreciation. And that just feels really good to me to choose that. So I wanted to share it because it's simple.
Thanks, Val. That's a great idea. And it is nice and simple, right? And I also noticed that, just listening a little to Stella, that inherent in our discussion, if people are pushing your buttons, sometimes we do need some self-protection, actually. So I guess that's just something to notice, is what is a doable way for you to meet this mission while you're still taking care of yourself?
Yeah. Thanks for underscoring that, Rosemary.
Go ahead, Sherry.
I know you had to set a few names. I was typing when you said them, so I'm not sure.
Geraldine is next, and then Julie, and then Joe.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Just feels so special to have this opportunity to be here for Finn. And Rosemerry and your mother, this moment is just beyond beautiful. For myself, I have a daughter-in-law, and she and I have a very hard time. Although we share the joy of my granddaughter, her daughter, I realized during the meditation that I often notice what is missing from her rather than what she has. And she has so much love to give, and she is so insecure that she has a hard time doing that. So about a week ago, I don't even know why I bought this, but I have a beautiful card on my desk. It's a Hawaiian card with plumeria flowers, and it says mahalo, thank you in Hawaiian. And anyway, I'm going to fill that out today and send that to her. And I know she will. I know on some level that she will take in the love that I'll include in that. So thank you.
Thank you, Geraldine. It's so beautiful. I love that you just happen to have that wonderful card just waiting.
Oh, those synchronicities, they're the best.
Thanks, Carolyn. And how about you, Julie?
I have a sister-in-law who is diametrically opposite to me in almost any way we could be, except that we're both funny. We're both funny people. She lost a son when he was 9 years old. And I lost my son 3 years ago. And we have never talked really mom to mom because I have kept her at bay. So I just want to sit with it and see what can work for me that feels good. I think I could certainly write a letter mom to mom. And the summer before Alex died, we had a small family gathering, and she was marvelous with him. She had him laughing, and he made her laugh, and it was just wonderful. So if nothing else, I could share that happy memory with her and thank her for her part in that. So, you know, when she first occurred to me, I thought, oh, no, not her. And then I thought, oh, yes. So thanks for the invitation to do that. And I'm so happy to be in this circle of caring. It is delightful. Thank you.
Oh, Julie, how great is that? I wonder how many other people had that same experience where the first person you thought of, you were like, oh no, not that person.
Anybody but her.
Anyone but that person. I just want to honor that maybe you're ready to meet that person and maybe not, right? And I do love also what you said, Julie, about I'm just going to sit with this. And I do trust that ripening process also, right? To know that if you don't have an idea in this moment, that you can trust that if you really do plant that seed and return to it again and again, that the leaves will grow and soon the sunflower will be there too.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I love that, Rosemerry. I was thinking evolving form, of course, while you were saying that. A little plug for your podcast right now. The other thing that dropped in when you said that, because you said plant a seed, and I was watering some flowers and trees in the yard this morning, and it dropped in. Rosemerry knows this. I had a very, very, very difficult grandmother, racist, homophobic, narcissist, really a difficult person to love, but she loved flowers and she loved her yard. And when I was watering, all of a sudden I was overcome with this like appreciation to her for her love of the garden. And I thought this mission, it's exactly what you were saying, Rosemerry. It's like the mission just was leading me into a place of heart opening. And I hadn't even been thinking I was trying to have a mission in that moment, but it kind of came. And it was just this love for somebody who obviously had a very difficult life, but she loved her yard and flowers.
Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing that, Sherry. I even wonder about, even now, even so she's gone, to share somehow a gardening, something with gardening, something you could do with gardening, even if it's like offering to weed to someone else's garden, or in California, I don't know if you can still plant things over there, but I don't know, it might be a sweet gesture somehow.
I love that. You know what dropped in when you said that, which is I live in San Francisco and the streets can be fairly dirty, but there's a lot of beautiful trees on our street, and I could take a garbage bag and just pick up garbage, along the so that people could appreciate the trees. That's what dropped in. I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to do in her honor. Really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. I think next is Joe, and then Roz, and then Uli.
Mary, I just had a friend who passed away on Sunday, and she had raised her granddaughter, and wonderful life with the granddaughter. They were very, very close, but in the last year, the granddaughter went off to college, and I suppose I could say she started having some identity problems because of the baggage in her past. So she left home. She did not want her grandparents' support or anything, and it caused a lot of anxiety and pain for my friend. But my friend held on to the love for the granddaughter. Well, they're waiting for the granddaughter to come home because the granddaughter at the moment has COVID, and then they will have the funeral. So I cannot wait to go to Isabella, the granddaughter, and share with her your poem.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for sharing that story.
Thank you, Joe.
And actually, Joe, I do want to honor too, just as a past secret agent, you've been on so many missions, and Joe has always found ways to weave the poem into part of what she does with her mission, which is actually a sweetness too, the ways that you kind of honor all of it together and bring the poems out into the world. And I appreciate the way that you carry out your missions, friend. Thank you. I'm just going to say before we have Roz say something that there are lots of great notes in the chat bar about different ways that people are going to be carrying out their missions. So we may get a chance to read those, but if we don't, go ahead and look through some of the notes in the chat bar about how people are carrying this forward. Roz, how about you? Oops, can't hear you yet though, friend.
Oh,
there you are. Oh, and now we don't hear. Yep.
There we go. Hi. I'm so glad to be here and have this opportunity to see you face to face. And I've been sending all my love to you and your family and your daughter, especially caring about her. I have a couple things I've been thinking of. One is to use your poem actually where my daughter and her husband are adopting a 17-year-old foster child. And she was 14 when she came to us. And at that point, I came down to Mississippi to be with my daughter's family and help out with the soon to be born grandchild. So I have two grandgirls here. And when I first got here, my granddaughter said, "Mom, you have to help with Tabitha," who's the 14-year-old at that point. And so she and I have started a Sunday night dinner that we've done for the last couple of years. And it's been very rewarding to both of us. But I was thinking at her adoption, which is coming up pretty soon, the adoption process, to read your poem, to find, to practice it, print it out, read it, and read that poem, because of really the love is what's carried through all the sorrow of these ups and downs. So I think that'll be good. It'll be fun. I like to practice being on stage. So that'll be, see if I can do that in front of everybody. That'll be a good challenge, and it'll be good to share. And I was thinking to put it in my, I have a file of things for when I die, I like to read, and that's a really nice one to put in there. So, and the other thing I'm thinking is my daughter's the one who comes up. I have a daughter and a goddaughter, but for both of them, we had an encounter a little bit the other day, and then we got off the phone, and I still didn't really understand. So I called her back and asked her to explain herself to me instead of just living with what I thought she said. And so that's my mission these days, is to gracefully figure out more what she's thinking instead of what I think she's thinking, so I can understand her better. So in that mission, carrying that forward. Blessings to you all.
Thank you so much, Roz. Thank you. It's so beautiful to hear what all of you are thinking. And again, I'm echoing what Rosemary said about there's so many beautiful ideas in the chat. I hope we do have a chance to read some of them. Rosemary, was it Uli who was
Uli? Hello, Uliest.
Hi, sweet Rosemary and everybody else. It's amazing how many people you have gathered around you to do this. And Ross, I just want to tell you that your daughter is keeping going what you have started in your life with taking in so many kids that you have cared for. So I'm so glad that Kenya is following you in your footsteps. And what I wanted to say, I've been listening to Beyond the Veil by the Shift Network the last 2 days, and maybe some of you have done that too. And it's just so clear to me, even so I'm not a psychic, that Finn is with us right now, with all of us, and that he is smiling from the other side. He chose you as a mom, Rosemary, because he knew that you could carry out this mission and that you are spreading the love and the joy that he has been beyond his pain and his sorrows, that you will carry that out right now with all of us. So that's his mission, that he is working through you still, and he is here with us right now. Thank you so much for doing that and for being his mom and being so beautiful.
Oh, Uli, thank you for that. That makes me, in that spirit, I'll tell you a sweet little story that involves sweet Sherry also. The night that Finn died, I called my dear friend Wendy and we were talking. Well, I was down there in Georgia, walking up and down the street. And so it was nighttime and in Georgia, it's quite hot. And Wendy was saying to me about Finn, he has given you his love light to carry, which I feel like this is a love light mission. In that moment that when she said that, he has given you his love light to carry. The moment she said the word love light, a firefly lit up right in front of my face, right here. He has given you his love light to carry. I was in absolute astonishment when that happened. And I told this story to Sherry, who must have instantly gotten online and figured out how to send me this beautiful little firefly necklace that I carry around me. I wear it now every day to remember that is what I'm being asked now to do, to carry forward his love light. So we're all doing that.
We're all doing it.
We're all doing that. Thank you. Thank you.
We're all doing it.
We are all doing it. It matters so much. The love that we share matters so much. I've never, ever, ever known it more. I've never trusted it more. That in the face of anything, that love is what matters. That love is what matters. And the way that we choose it again and again and again.
I love that Ada just wrote in the chat, we can be the Firefly Network. That's so
Firefly all these little lights going all over.
Which is funny because the secret agents are usually like wanting to be undercover, but now I guess we're shining our lights pretty brightly for this one. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Finn.
Not so secret agent, perhaps. We'll get back to the surreptitiousness for sure.
I know that Carol has had her hand up as well.
Oh, good. Carol?
Hi, thank you. I just want to say I'm a relative newcomer to your poetry just in the last half year or so through my dear friend Janice Fialka here in Michigan. So I've just loved it, and I wanted to just a few things come to mind. One is a song that I won't sing it now, but there's a song that has the title by Lawrence Cole, who does all kinds of heart-centered singing. The title of it is "Grief is Love's Souvenir," and it's just a beautiful expression in a nutshell. And another song, when you read your poem, another song that I will make a little recording of it and send it to you, because that's something that I just learned, from a person. It's called More Love, More Love. Okay. And I will send it to you. The words are, when the weight is on your heart, when everything falls apart, lift your voice and sing, more love, more love. This is what will bring more love, more love. So I'll just whip up a recording of that and send it to you. But it just immediately came forth.
Carol, will you share it in our Facebook group too?
Sure.
Well,
Yes, it'll be like an audio recording, and I'll just me with GarageBand or something. I'll just make a few tracks, but it's a beautiful, comforting, uplifting song. A couple of other things just come to mind. One is that I have a friend. I live in Michigan now, but I lived in Vermont for years, and I was in an African American gospel choir, with different people up there, and a friend in that choir. Who I knew mostly from singing. If you meet people singing, you don't necessarily know everything else about their lives, but you just connect in spirit in this way. And then I moved back to Michigan, and she lost both of her adult sons, one who took his own life, and then one to addiction, to an overdose. And no words is all I can say, though they were her only two sons. And I just feel just really moved to share your poetry with her. It didn't occur to me before, but I just feel like your poetry, and now your poetry, your experience of losing your son, I just feel like she has her own ways of addressing living on, incredibly. Actually, she's an artist, but and she just lives on. But I feel really moved to share to just open that portal for her. And the last thing I was going to say is, when I first was trying to go with that, I've never been on one of these secret mission things. This is just, I just came onto it. I forget how. I think I signed up for your daily poems a month or like a few months ago. And so I had word of it, and the two people that came to mind, of course, immediately was like, oh, no, can't, right? The two people, one is my sister, who I had an very unexpected rift with, and another person. And I don't have a plan yet, because I just wanted to share what came to my mind was, but I've already done I've already bent over backwards to try to da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just wanted to honor Finn in that, it just opens up this tenderness. Like, I've been hurt so much already, and I've done so much to try, like, it feels impossible. It's like, but no, I can't do more. And it's like, that's where it starts. And I just want to honor somebody that you shared about Finn, who just did that as a way, as part of who he was, because it's really, really hard for us humans. I'll find a way, but I just wanted to share that I'm in process with that. So thank you, and thank you for all you offer and bring to us. Thank you.
Carol, thank you. What a great observation. But I've already done so much. I know that feeling myself. I totally honor that and how that might be a big part of this for the people who are prickly for us. Especially if you're the kind of person who showed up for this group, you're probably the kind of person who's already bending over backwards to help other people. So I thank you in retrospect for all the things that you have already done. And what an invitation then to continue to do so. I'm just going to mention, we'll be on for another 7 minutes, and we'll continue to talk as much as we can. If you need to get off, that's fine. We understand everybody has a day to do, and now you even have missions to carry out today, not just today, but whenever, there's no expiration date on the mission. But a heads up that we will have on our Facebook group with a poem and also the missions. And that if you go to the Facebook group then, and just as you do the mission, as you plant the sunflowers, as you send the letter, it'd be fun to see Geraldine's. You could send us a picture, Geraldine, of that card that you had on your desk, or, whatever it is, just to send us pictures or send us a report of what is it. And also, by the way, if you struggle, if you're having a hard time figuring out how, I don't even know. And you can share the struggle part of it too, not just the celebration, but also the struggle. Jackie Holt, I see you have your hand up.
Good morning. Oh, I just love you, Rosemerry.
So good.
Yes. Yes. When I met you, how many years ago? My gosh, a whole lot, so many years ago. And I've been in love with you ever since, and with your poetry, and my heart aches with you.
Thank you.
And what a celebration here to do today, and a way to honor this beautiful young man. Yep. And I already wrote in the chat, you know, it was my daughter-in-law. I have a daughter-in-law, so I have tried so many things. And what came to me today is to sit with this, to just, I have done outward things, and it seems like there's just like a wall there. And so today I get to hold her, just to hold her close and to send her love. And yeah, I already wrote in the chat. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you. Thank you, Jackie. You know, I think that this is a beautiful point about how, and this is something Sherry was talking about right at the beginning, about how sometimes the inward work can be the most important work. That's harder to maybe share about with other people, but I think that work is so essential. Do you want to say something about that, Sherry?
Yeah, just these missions, I mean, this one in particular, but I think they always bring us all home to ourselves first and foremost, right? Like, and again, like typically the double secret agent mission is about ourselves and how to bring whatever the spirit of the mission is to ourselves. And we hope that you'll do that. You know, I've been thinking, trying to follow these beautiful comments and listening to you, and just that we all have parts of ourselves that push our own buttons, and we all have parts of ourselves that maybe sometimes we really actually don't like. And wow, how important, right? How important to bring all this love, you know, inward, outward. And I'm so inspired by all of you. I know we only have a few more minutes, Rosemerry, so we can choose how we want to use our last few minutes, but I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. What a gorgeous, gorgeous group of people. I'm staring at everybody's picture, falling in love with you all.
I do want to also echo what Rosemerry said, like, oh, look, Valerie popped up a little sunflower.
Nice.
I want to echo what Rosemerry said, that this has been so beautiful. And so I just feel my heart opening, being with all of you and seeing your faces. And we do really want people to be sharing stories in the Facebook group. I know that sometimes people have said in the past, it can feel like bragging or tooting my own horn, or, you know, really, should we talk about, you know, the good things we're doing? And the answer is yes, please do, because part of it is that just like today, we inspire each other to think in new creative ways. Like when I hear you talk about certain things you're doing, people are flashing in my mind that I could do those acts of love for. And so by sharing in the Facebook group, we get to inspire each other. And, you know, I really think it's important to, you know, what you focus on expands. And so to share what we've done with the group is a way to make that love even bigger within ourselves. So I did post the link. I'll post it again in the chat in case anyone doesn't know how to get to the Facebook group, but we'd love to see you there.
I see Kathy Jackson has her hand up. And Kathy, I want to thank you so much, friend. You've been such an incredible healing force for me. Thank you.
Well, I wanted to mainly thank you. I think it's easy to come and be with others when our spirit is up, and it's easy to share joy and abundance. And it's so difficult to share our sorrows and to share our tenderness and our fragility. And in those times, because we all have them, for those who can be brave enough, and you have been so brave, to share the depths of yourself, then what you open us to is accepting the whole of our humanity, which isn't just our own dark and light, but also that we all belong together. and things like this, like Sherry. I mean, I'm somebody who I love to give, and then when I've been in my own dark places, I know I have been less than generous in sharing that, because it's been much more comfortable to just kind of hide out. And so I just want to put that out there too, is I'm just deeply inspired that you have done this and that you've opened up to share, and it allows others to have the permission to accept, you know, the expanse of our humanity. The 10,000 joys and the 10,000 sorrows are a part of being in this life. So thank you so much, Rosemerry. And I cannot wait to one of these days give you a hug, whether it's in Georgia or Colorado. And I look forward to meeting your mother as well. So
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. It's a really good point. I think so often our missions have come from a more joyful place. And perhaps there is some added, the invitation is a bigger one, isn't it? When it hurts and it's hard. It's a different kind of invitation. It's one thing to share joy, which is honestly easy. And to find a way to share love in sorrow. Well, it feels essential, actually. And you expressed that really beautifully. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks so much. Oh, so friends. Sherry, do you want to bring us to a close? Do you want to circle us?
Sure. That was so beautiful. Kathy, thank you. We really needed that. And as again, just looking at all of your faces, and Rosemerry, especially you here today, to thank you. I think it's like, you know, more love, right? That just says it all. And the fact that you would all show up with your love for Rosemerry, for all of us, and then to take it out into the world, it's everything. It's really everything. It's what we have to combat all of those 10,000 sorrows. Rosemerry, I love you so much. Finn, we love you so much.
And secret agents, we love you so much. Thanks for going out and spreading love and kindness. Thank you. We look forward to hearing all about your missions. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, one more thing before you leave. Did Rosemerry just leave us?
I'm right here.
Oh, you're here. Good. Can we tell them about the next mission? Just so that they put it
What a
on.
good idea. We can tell you the date of our next mission is going to be November 2nd, Day of the Dead.
And
which
what
also
else?
happens to be my birthday. So it's a special birthday mission. And Sherry will actually be here in Colorado. So we will get to sit in the same square, which feels really exciting. So just go ahead and mark your calendar for November 2nd. It will be in the morning. And we'll hope to see you for that mission too.
Yeah, we'll see you all in the Facebook group. Love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for spreading the love light.
Thanks for being together.
Much love. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
So much love to you, Rosemerry.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you so much for this,
Thanks, Carol.
both of you dear ones.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Much
It
love.
was very nice to meet you, Rosemerry and Sherry.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, everybody. Love you, Rosemerry. Thank you, Sherry. Love you.
Thanks, dear
Mwah.
Eduardo.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosemerry. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Blessings, Rosemerry and Sherry. Thank you for starting this.
Thank you for being here with us.
I love it.
Thank you for inviting us. It's been a joy.
Thank you, Stella. Thanks.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sherry and Rosemerry. Love you, Rosemary, and sending
you,
you
darling.
and Sherry and your sweet mama lots of love and light today.
Mm.
Love you.
This is like one of those parties that you don't want the last person to leave. I can't bring myself to ending the meeting, even though I know that's what I'm supposed to do. All right, I am gonna.
You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
I'm a real gate crasher.
Maybe we
I've
can all
known you
hang up
for
on
36
three.
years.
Okay. That's
Oh, look, Mark, thanks for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Love
Bye.
you.